Welcome back to Football Fans TV. Once again, I'm your host, Jay. I'm here today with Dennis, and we're going to give you guys a review on last week's fixtures. This guy's a Chelsea fan, as you can tell. Not sure why he's on that, but yeah, that's the game we're going to start with. Chelsea drew at home to Leicester. I had them for a 2-1 win. And I don't know if you want to explain to us what happened in that game, because
nothing went right, obviously, and I think Chelsea managers in general are like in a very precarious position because generally Chelsea fans don't actually care about the result, but then when you don't get the result and you still look that terrible, then there's no excuse for that.
I don't know. You mentioned it to me once that Chelsea don't really care about the way you play.
Yeah.
Your club is more of a result. Chelsea's never been a club that's valued its gameplay and its beautiful tiki-taka. It's always just about the result. I
mean, that's what we've had for very close to a decade and a half now. We've had results. We've won the league 4 times. We've gone out there and just played it rough and gotten results. Whether it was against Barcelona or it was against Arsenal. We've always been about results, and I think Chelsea fans have acclimatized to that. They just realize, listen, as long as we get the results, it doesn't actually really matter whether we're playing beautifully or not. But then the problem comes, as we've had with like AVB or now with Conte, you get the results for a while, and the fans are happy. But once you start getting the results, no one cares that you're not, that you're playing beautiful or not, and we're not doing either at the moment, which is terrible.
Yeah, because that draw at home to Leicester was a bit shocking. I mean, Leicester were in charge. They were in control for most of the game.
They were.
And funny enough, they could have been like 3-0 up at half-time.
They could have.
And the tide only switched after like 79 minutes when, who was it? Ben Chilwell got the red card.
No, but 79 minutes is a bit harsh. I think for most of the second half, we would have been more in control. But, we weren't really creating chances. No one created chances in that game. And we would never look like we were scoring, but we also would never look like we were under pressure. In the first half, I suppose, we were under pressure. Like, it really did look like we were losing that game at some point.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, it was a really bad result for Chelsea and a really good one for Leicester. Because if you look at Leicester, before they got Claude Puel in and sacked, who had they just sacked? Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Craig Shakespeare. I mean, you'd have never thought that same team could go to Stamford Bridge and live with a draw.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So in the bigger picture, it's a very good result.
Definitely.
And the next game, we had Palace and Burnley. I had it down for a 1-0 draw. I thought it would be a close game. Two teams who are, they're finding results. Especially Burnley. Burnley this season has just always managed to get results. We're talking about not too long ago, and they've got 19 goals this season.
Yeah.
Their game mainly is based on not conceding. They're not the best attacking team, but they just don't concede. And I thought this would be a tight game, and it was 1-0.
To be fair, it was a tight game, but Burnley had a really good patch early on, in that they've got 4 points, I think, in the last 7 games, which is obviously they're starting to probably a little bit of fatigue and people catching on to what they're doing. Especially after the Christmas period as well. But I mean, it was always going to be tight. It wasn't going to be a free scoring game, and 1-0 to Palace, they deserved it as well on the day, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, Sako got the goal there, and it was a good result. It was a good result for Crystal Palace as well. Yeah. Roy Hodgson, he's continuing on his path, and Crystal Palace, they don't look stoppable at the moment. I mean, I think they have Arsenal.
Really? They don't look stoppable?
They don't.
Come on.
They have. Then Crystal Palace's next game is away at the Emirates. We could put a friendly fiver live on camera. A friendly fiver. Crystal Palace goes to the Emirates
and gets a result.
And gets a result.
Yeah.
At the Emirates.
Definitely.
Crystal Palace.
Definitely.
They'll go to the Emirates.
They look unstoppable because they won 2 games on the bounce.
Not because they've won 2 games in the bounce.
They lost 3.
Not because they've lost 2 games in the bounce. Because Crystal Palace, they look a different team. The way they play, their style of play. For example, like I mentioned this, since Wilfred Zaha has come back in, even Arsenal themselves were rumoured to be in for Zaha this January because he's had that much of a difference within the team.
Yeah.
They could have beaten Man City. They had Man City. Milivojevic missed a penalty in the last minute.
True.
Whereas they had Man City locked down, and they could have won that. And I just feel like the way Crystal Palace and Arsenal have always struggled.
It's a completely different thing when you go to play City right now. I mean, regardless of who you are, except if you're Liverpool, you go to City and defend. And that's what they did, and they did that well. I don't think they'll go and try and defend as much at Emirates. Why would you do that? Do you have a good chance? Yeah, you have a good chance.
That's what I'm saying.
You have a good chance of winning. And that's where, the game's a lot more open. I think Arsenal, a definite win for Arsenal. And
very difficult. Arsenal can't afford to lose that either. Because coming from losing to Bournemouth. But I guess when that game comes, we'll see how it goes.
There's a 5 on that.
There's a 5 on that. Spurs got a 4-0 win at home to Everton. I had them down for a 2-0, but they went and got double that. Harry Kane got a couple again, and he's equaled Teddy Sheringham's record now. What a player.
What a player. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that for a very long time, I said this guy was going to be like Vardy. I thought he was like a slightly better Vardy. But he's turned out to be, world class in his own right. I don't know whether you agree with whether he's good technically or not. He's definitely a world class.
Technically, I think we both agree. He's not the most amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, he's definitely a world class centre forward because his numbers are insane. And then Spurs as a unit as well, doing amazing. I think they're definitely up for top 4. They'll get a spot in there.
I think that's where we're not agreeing again. Because I feel like the top 4 as it is now, City first, and then United, Chelsea, and Liverpool. That's the top 4. But then in terms of who finishes 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I mean, right now Liverpool's level up points with Chelsea, and United's 3 points ahead of us. I don't know how that's going to end up. I don't see Spurs in it, regardless of this result and how they've managed to demolish Everton. It's just Everton. I mean. I don't see Spurs.
I think you're also forgetting the fact that Spurs have won 4 out of their last 5.
Yeah.
They're definitely, I mean, as a unit, they're definitely a better team. They defend a lot better than you guys do.
Fair enough.
I think, to be fair, I don't see past them. I think you guys are going through a purple patch. You're playing amazing football. Got a great result on the weekend. But as a team and over 38 games, you can't look past Spurs, and you definitely can't look past Chelsea. I think it's going to be those 4. And maybe Liverpool in 5th or 6th.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I completely get where you're coming from, considering how Harry Kane, the form that he's in, and the way he's scoring for fun. Son on the left wing, he's in incredible form as well. Dele Alli's getting back into form.
Yeah.
Christian Eriksen, he's been in decent form all season.
Yeah.
So I mean, I completely get what you're saying. He's a quality player.
On the bounce,
So I completely get where you're coming from. The only issue I have now with Spurs is first thing is first. Spurs, their defense. When Spurs was chasing after the title and coming second and even leading the table for most of the season and losing in the last 4 or 5 games and bottling it.
Yeah.
What Spurs always had was an amazing defense.
Yeah.
Right now their defense is in question mark. They've lost Kyle Walker. Hugo Lloris hasn't been the same keeper this season. Alderweireld has been injured all season. I'm not sure if Vertonghen is even back.
No.
But their defense has just been in question. And yeah, fair enough. Davinson Sanchez has been remarkable since he's come back.
Yeah.
Since he's come into the team. But I think there's still question marks within that Spurs defense. And more times, for example, like they were exposed against Man City when they lost 4-0 or 4-1.
Yeah.
City exposed their weaknesses. I mean, it's City; they expose everyone. But
exactly. Yeah.
The Spurs defense was really put into question mark for me there and in other games this season because they haven't been the best. They haven't been that same Spurs that we know. And fair enough, against Everton also kind of struggling. Big Sam is trying to do his thing. He stabilized the team again, but I mean it's still not that Lukaku Everton where going forward they were always a threat.
Yeah.
Now it's a different type of Everton.
Yeah.
They're not the same team. But it was either way, it was a good result for Spurs. 4-0.
Definitely.
4-0 at home. This is a big one. I think we're going to enjoy talking about this one. Bournemouth at home to Arsenal. I mean,
shambles.
Arsenal.
Shambles.
Honestly, I enjoyed watching this game. I think I enjoyed the last 30 minutes of this game because until Bellerin scored, I mean, it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Bournemouth really had anything going forward. But then, as soon as Bellerin scored and it went 1-0, Arsenal, for some odd reason, decided to sit back.
Yeah.
And they thought it's a comfortable win now, it's alright. And then Bournemouth just went at them. They went at them. They got 2 lucky chances. They scored 2 lucky goals, and there was that.
Listen, I don't know whether it might be a little cliche to say, but it just seems like it's such a mentality issue with Arsenal all the time. Because there's absolutely no reason why, you have some mild control of the game for pretty much, the entire, period. And then all of a sudden, you get a goal and you want to sit back. That's what Chelsea's done, but they don't have that defense. You're not good enough to be doing that. The reason why you got the goal in the first place was because you were pushing them back. And now all of a sudden you want them to come at you. And, when you have the defense that Arsenal has, and the Czech who's also a lot...
Czech is finished, isn't he?
He was finished when he left Chelsea.
When he left Chelsea.
But to be fair, when you have that kind of situation, you're not trying to sit back. You're not trying to see how far you can push Czech. So I think, unlucky for them, those goals were lucky, to be fair. But at the same time, you should never be putting Bournemouth in a position to be getting those lucky goals.
Yeah. Very true. And for Arsenal,
Wenger out.
Yeah, Wenger out. Now, actually, we want you to stay, Wenger. If you can stay for the rest of your life, please do. None of this Carlo Ancelotti at the end of the season stuff. No, we want Wenger in. I'm Wenger in.
You're not trying to get a new dispensation?
No. Cheeky, but for Arsenal's sake, I really hope Arsenal manage to get these deals in. I mean, we'll discuss those later. Yeah. But for their sake, this Aubameyang deal and Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Yeah.
For their sake, I hope those deals go through.
Crazy good business. Very, very sound business.
And the last couple of games, was Liverpool, Man City. That was Super Sunday. I told you guys in the last video, Liverpool. I'd been saying it for like the last month or so. I was nervous, but that doesn't mean I didn't know Liverpool was going to win. I had them down for a 2-1. We ended up winning 4-3.
Yeah.
And what an amazing performance. From the back to the front, fair enough, he messed up a couple of times, but other than the couple of mistakes that he did make, he had a good game. Joe Gomez on the right side.
Yeah.
Andy Robertson, what an amazing game he had. Yeah. Chasing down, Gergen pressing all the way back to the keeper, from left back, running at the keeper, and taking down Otamendi.
It was a good game. It was an amazing game. I think.
Let me give my shout out.
I think Man City deserves I think Man City deserves a lot of credit in that game as well. They actually played really well, and you shouldn't forget that they put 3 goals past you, including 2 at a time where you guys were sitting back quite a little bit. So it was an amazing, probably the best game of football I've watched in the last couple of seasons, to be honest. I really enjoyed that. And a good result for you guys. That makes it 4 games. 4 games at Anfield straight, beating Man City as well. So I mean,
Aguero still hasn't scored at Anfield.
Aguero still hasn't scored at Anfield. Hindsight is 2020, but it's you probably should have seen that coming. It was a good result for you.
But back again, Andrew Robertson. What a run! What a game! Emre Can in midfield, bossed it. Give that guy whatever he wants. His contract. Give him what he wants. We need him in our midfield. Gini Wijnaldum, what a game. Oxlade-Chamberlain, what a game, what a finish. Who else is that? Roberto Firmino, Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah. What a game. Well played, guys. What a performance
Salah
from the
was
whole
my
team.
fantasy team captain, by the way.
He got you lots of points, didn't he?
Yeah, 20 points.
20 points. What a game. What a game. The whole team. It was an amazing performance. And just back to what you mentioned. You mentioned that they managed to score 3 goals, etc., etc. First of all, I think the first goal, Sané's goal, Karius, he shouldn't be getting beaten at his near post.
True.
Those are basics.
That was such a good strike.
I mean, it was a rocket. It was a rocket.
Yeah.
But I mean, from youth level, these are the things you learn at youth level. As a keeper, the first thing you do before you do
is cover
Karius
your post.
was literally standing in the middle of his goal.
Yeah.
And the ball managed to sneak in. And I mean, as much as it was a rocket, he still got something onto it.
He did.
So now imagine if he was actually in position.
Yeah, true.
You would have probably hit him in the stomach or come back out, you understand?
Yeah.
The second goal, Gundogan, I think.
Yeah, no, the other 2 goals were pretty good.
The other 2 goals, they were alright goals, but
they were good goals.
Now they were literally just crosses. The first one was Bernardo Silva. There was poor defending because our centre backs stepped up while the 2 fullbacks stayed back.
This guy's gonna make
Matip.
okay to concede goals. It's okay. You got the 3 points.
But the thing is, if you look at the 4 goals we scored and the 3 goals that they scored, all 4 of our goals were better than the 3 goals that they scored.
I don't know why Salah is allowed to score a goal like that.
It was poor keeping. Edison's goal. Yeah. But either way, what a performance from Liverpool. I enjoyed every single. I've seen that game 3 more times after that.
There was Man United versus Stoke on Monday evening.
We'll go on all day. Thanks for that. We're actually going all day.
So, yeah.
I had a 2-0. They ended up winning 3-0. I think that was an easy game for United. They were always going to win that.
Of course. Playing against a team without a manager.
But what a goal from Valencia and Martial.
Yeah.
Their 2 goals, Valencia, he can actually shoot with his left foot.
Like it actually looked like it was on purpose. Like the way he put it as well.
The defender, I feel like the defender let him go that way. He showed him that way because he felt like Valencia's not going to do anything. What a strike.
It was a very good goal.
As well as Martial's goal.
Always.
Finesse into the top corner. What a goal.
The most composed kid in the world.
Yeah, he's pretty composed. After Joe Gomez, he's quite composed. But yeah, those. I mean,
Lukaku didn't celebrate again.
No, he actually celebrated.
Did he?
He tried to keep it cool, and then 3-4 seconds later. But I mean.
Yeah. But I mean, I really feel like it's unwarranted the abuse that guy's been getting.
No, it's not good enough. It's not unwarranted. He only scores and bullies small teams. Where is he in the big games? Where is he against Chelsea?
Where's Man United in the big games? Look, I mean, this guy had 2 chances. They created 2 chances for him that whole game. You're not going to get bully the bigger teams if you're not creating chances in those games.
Can I give you an example? For Roberto Firmino's goal against Man City, that was a nothing ball. It wasn't a chance created by anyone. It was a nothing ball. It was Stones' ball to lose.
Yeah.
He got there.
Fair enough.
He made his presence felt. He pushed Stones out the way, and he made a chance for himself.
Isn't that kind of player?
He's bigger than Firmino.
Yeah, he's bigger than him, but he's not that kind of player. Like, he's not going to be in that position. He's not skillful enough to create. I mean, given that chance, he might have scored that as well. But he's not the type of player to create his own chances. He's the type of guy that needs other people to create the chances for him. I feel like he's a big man. The guy's 100 kgs, bro. In what world is he ever going to be creating his own chances? I think it's unwarranted. I think as soon as United start creating as many chances for him as they should, he'll score. No one scores as many goals.
This is coming with a price tag. I understand where you're coming from, but now you need to think of the other side of the pendulum. That this guy came with a 90 million.
75.
Was it 75?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How much was Pogba? 90 million.
89. Yeah.
89. 75 million. This is still this price tag. This comes with the price tag. When you pay 75 million for a striker, you're not expecting him to go missing in your big games, in your derbies against your rivals. You're not expecting him to go missing.
Okay, but let's talk about what 75 million buys you today. Yeah. 75 million buys you Morata.
Yeah.
Who hasn't been any better than Lukaku?
And he's just to blame as well. The only difference.
50 million buys you Lacazette. Who's been terrible. 50 million buys you Sterling. I mean, what does 75 million buy you right now?
Sterling,
that justifies
50 million. Lukaku, 75 million.
But that's Sterling in his 3rd season.
Give us something.
Is that Sterling in his 3rd season?
Give us something.
He settled into the club. You're judging this guy.
But United is a big club. You can't. There's no settling in. United, you need to get there and start banging.
No, I get that.
This has been the case since Dwight York, Andy Cole.
I get
when
that.
These guys came in at United, these guys at that time they came in for reasonable prices. Back then, I mean 10, 15 million, it wasn't much, but back in the day, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And those guys, the amount of pressure you have to come in at United. Van Nistelrooy, you have to come in at United and start banging. Berbatov, these certain guys, every striker that is coming, that's what United fans are used to. United is a big club.
Fair enough, but I'm saying, in a market where Coutinho is 140 million, 75 million isn't as much as, I don't feel like that pressure is warranted. You know what I mean? It's 140 million for...
You've got a soft spot for Lukaku, that's what it is.
I do.
You do.
I don't want him at Chelsea, but I do have a soft spot for him. But I really do feel like, no one who is bought for around that much is doing any better than he is anyway.
Fair enough. But yeah, those are the 6 games we had and predicted on, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you enjoyed the fixtures themselves. And we look forward to giving you a preview for this weekend's upcoming fixtures. Stay tuned. We're going to give you more content on transfer news, etc., and anything else you guys might want to hear. Thanks for tuning in.